A man like Parnelli Jones doesn't like to lose at any time. And when it's 2 in a row, something's got to give. Jones, teammates Dan Gurney and crew chief Bud Moore bring the cars as close to perfection as human ingenuity can get them for the start in the blistering Texas heat. During the early lap, Gurney places himself just behind the leader, waiting for the inevitable mechanical attrition to clear some of the traffic on this short, tight track. A succession of Mustangs take the lead, then fall out, while Gurney and Jones press on inexorably. The heat claims some, and some are simply outdriven by the hard-charging Cougars. Steadily, the maroon and gray Catamounts broaden their lead. Then Parnelli has to pull into the pits. This gives the lead to Gurney, and in 1-2 order, with the closest contender 3 laps back, they cross the finish line. It's not just the Texas heat that makes the champagne so delicious today. The Cougars win 2 more races. By the time the series reaches Marlboro, Maryland, Cougar is now leading the competition for the Manufacturers' Championship. 2 new drivers, stock car aces Cale and Leroy Yarbrough, have temporarily replaced Gurney and Jones, while Ed Leslie will drive the second Cougar. Perhaps more than any other race thus far in the series, this can be anyone's victory. Cougar and Mustang are battling hoof and claw for the lead. But Mark Donohue's Camaro has won the pole position, and he knows this track better than any other driver here. After all, he learned to drive at Marlboro. The start, which is frequently a short run to disaster here, gets off cleanly. Donohue, Leslie, Jerry Titus, and Dr. Dick Thompson are jammed as tight as nuts in a candy bar going into the meandering first turn. But they all come out of it. The first few laps, the lead is passed around faster than a good story at the Elks Club picnic. Titus takes it, then Leslie. Finally, Donohue ducks under the Cougar on a tight corner and comes out on top. The Marlboro track is tricky and demanding. Its endless series of bumps and corners places a formidable strain on car and driver. A feel for the course and its varied rigors can be a tremendous advantage to a driver, as Donohue is proving. He's slowly edging his car farther and farther ahead of the rest of the pack. A few lengths back, the 2 Cougars and Jerry Titus's Mustang are grappling for second place and a clear shot at the rapidly vanishing Donohue. Up till now, Camaro has been a sleeper in the Trans Am competition, never placing better than second. The potential for victory has always been there, and today the blue and gold rocket, meticulously prepared by Roger Penske, is really showing its form. Obviously, being the local hero doesn't hurt a driver's performance. Cale Yarbrough displays the flamboyant style that has thrilled stock car crowds as he almost flies around the track. His lap times are outstanding, but his driving tactics are eating up tires and costing him precious time in extra pit stops. Now only Ed Leslie is in the same lap as Donohue. Jim Adams has taken over the Titus Mustang, falling a full lap behind in the process. And coming out of the pits with Leroy Yarbrough at the wheel, the number 15 Cougar is a good 2 minutes behind. It looks like a tight battle among Adams, Leslie, and Donohue. But the flying Camaro is a full circuit ahead of its 2 pursuers. And now the track begins to take its toll. Leslie's out, and only the Yarbrough Cougar remains. Donohue's victory is virtually assured. The Camaro heads for the finish line all alone, cracking the Trans Am Series wide open. With the Camaro win and Ford second place, only 5 points separate the Mustangs, Cougars, and Chevrolets. On and on they race across the Continental Divide to California. Mustang wins at Modesto, then Cougar triumphs at Riverside to pull into the lead again. At Stardust International Raceway in Nevada, Mark Donohue again plays the spoiler. For the second time, he turns the series upside down. victory upsets the adjusted point standings of both Ford and Mercury. They're only 1 point apart, but Mustang is now ahead. Contest. After 11 races covering 9 states and 10 months, the decision will be made here. Camaro is 11 points behind and cannot win the series, regardless of how well it does today. The only contenders are Mustang and Cougar, separated by only 1 point. Each team is fielding its best drivers. Gurney and Jones for Cougar, Titus and Ron Bucknam for Mustang. Because whichever car places ahead of the other in this race will win the championship. The clock is running and the cars are away on the decisive round of their 12-race encounter. Mark Donohue, starting on the pole, gets off in front. Knotted up behind Donohue and jockeying for position are Bucknam, Jones, Gurney, Titus, and Milton Minter's Mustang. Jerry Grant in a Camaro makes a slashing bid for position, but his car is in serious trouble. At the top of the pack, the name of the game seems to be Catch Donohue. And as he has proven with dismaying frequency in the latter part of the series, he's not an easy man to catch. The race is beginning to settle down. The Camaro is lodged in first, closely pursued by Jones. Gurney tries and succeeds in passing Bucknam's Mustang for third. Gurney has what looks like a gas leak. He's splashing fuel out of his tank on the corners. Behind the leaders are Titus and Minter. The Cougars are running nose to tail ahead of the Mustang. Bucknam is moving extremely well, but his car is showing slight signs of overheating. Along with the 2 factory Cougars, a private entry driven by Alan Moffat also could be a contender. A question of strategy arises. Donohue's in front, but he's not the man to beat for the series title. Cougar has to finish ahead of Mustang to take the championship. Should they pour it on and race with the Camaro, or save their cars in the earlier laps to give them some reserve for the final sprint with Ford to the checkered flag? The plan seems to be simply to stay ahead of the Mustang, letting Donohue burn up the track to take the individual win. And this he's doing in a spectacular manner, lapping Moffat's 8th-place Cougar. Jones is in the pits. His car won't restart, and it looks like he's finished. The full burden of responsibility has fallen on Gurney. With no backup man to protect the team's position, he must stay ahead of Bucknam. The Moffat Cougar is now too far back to help. Gurney's losing gas again. It looks like a faulty catch on the cap, and there's a spin on the S's. Not too serious, but Gurney's being flagged into the pits. The officials are ordering him to fix his gas leak. It's a minor problem and easy to repair, but the stop has given Bucknam second place, and every second's delay in the pits means a longer lead over the luckless Gurney. The Moffat Cougar is out of contention. 38 seconds in the pits. Not long when you consider that the Cougar has driven flat out for more than 3,500 miles to move within striking distance of the championship. But it's long enough to give Bucknam a firm hold on second place and the series victory to Mustang. The gap is too broad and the time remaining too short for Gurney to catch Bucknam, even though the Mustang's engine is heating up with every lap. But despite Camaro's victory at Kent and a heartbreaking loss of the series to Mustang, it's been a fine year for Team Cougar. They drove a new and unproven car to within seconds of the Trans-American Championship. And after 10 months of great racing, they're really ready for next year.